Hello, collectors, and welcome to a new series I'm going to start doing called Pre-War Baseball Card Hunting. I am in the process of trying to amass one card of every Hall of Famer, well, at least all Hall of Fame players. So, going all the way back to pre-war, all the way through the modern guys. So, as such, I am doing a lot of research and figuring out what that one card I want is going to be.
Sorry, I'm picky.
And so I'm going to give you a little insight here as to some of my research.
This is research. I'm going.
At least let's take a deep dive on this first player I'm looking at, which is Joe DiMaggio. Yeah, I know he crosses over a little bit into what would be post-war, but he only ends up appearing in one major release set, so still kind of qualifies for me, as most of his cards end up being on the pre-war side. But let's get started here. I have got a presentation set up to walk through these. So to get started, let me give you a little bit of the ground rules. So I'm going to avoid the oversized cards because that's not part of my collecting style, at least. And considering the difference in price variation you see with oversized cards, it's not that popular, widespread compared to the normal slab-sized cards. I'm also avoiding extreme rarity, so not going to touch the cards that have only like 10 transactions ever, and things that are much more attainable. I'm going to exclude any combo cards, team cards, so you won't see any 41 double plays here. And my focus is going to be on the low grades, because I'm trying to give you the information as far as what is the entry point of buying any of these cards. And so I did pick through and avoid the pricing information on anything that was the dog ate my baseball card, or a truck ran over it, or the kid folded it up and put it in his pocket cards. And things that at least have semi-decent eye appeal as our entry point price. So, and all these prices were able to be pulled from the site vintagecardprices.com, not an official sponsor or anything, but I thought I should give them credit nonetheless. So to get started, my first card for Joe DiMaggio here. This is widely considered his rookie card. I've got a total graded population of 60. All these numbers you see, I pulled SGC and PSA, as they are by far the majority of all of these cards. In almost all the cases where I pulled up data, BGS, CGC are far under even 10% of the population. So that's what you'll see through the whole thing as far as the total graded population is just PSA and SGC. And this card, the only recent sale was this PSA 1.5 for a whopping $27,000. So not exactly on most people's price point area there. So, but gorgeous card nonetheless. So up next, 37 OPG, another bit more high-priced card. Not too many of them out there with 54. And we're talking an entry point price there of around 3.5K. So definitely a card you would need to save up for. Unless you've got deep pockets, and congrats to you. So up next, 38 Gaudy Heads Up. This would be the one without the extra cartoons. And this one's a little bit lower priced, as the entry point here is going to be somewhere in the low 2K region, the mid 2K. And it's got a total graded population of 380 on this one. And if you want to know my thoughts on this card, check out a recent video I did on my own channel of 5 iconic baseball cards I don't like. So there you go. But then here we are with the one with the cartoons. And this one is a bit more popular, as you can see from the jump in price. We're kind of in an area where it's about $800 to $1,000 higher at a similar condition-wise. So entry point here is pushing well into like 2,600 to 3,000 range, with a few more extra graded, but fairly close in pop count with that other one for 38 Gaudy Heads Up. Up next, we're at 39 Play Ball. Now, this one is the most heavily populated card of Joe DiMaggio's entire run here at over 2,200, and a very popular shot there of him with a nice smile, and kind of $1,000-ish entry point on that card. So it's hard to avoid a comma with Joe D here, other than his few last cards. So up next is the 40 Play Ball, which is a bit less popular, as we can get into that one for around $800, with a population less than half of the 39 at 934. And, most people will find this image of him very familiar, as the more iconic 41 card ends up using the same image, which, there we go. A few more graded of these, or we're up over 1,400. And now, once again, we are at an entry point pricing somewhere in the over 1,000 to 1,200 even on this card. But this one's one of those iconic cards of his run here, if not the most. And, very popular, with 1941 being the year of the streak. So, as well as then MVP, which most people say Ted Williams probably should have gotten it, but Ted Williams' relationship with the media wasn't so good. So, but up next, then, we have got one card that is square in the middle of World War II here. Kind of surprising they even got made, but I don't know what happened. Did all the good artists get drafted? Because whoever they hired for this set was not the best. There's some very questionable cards in this set. This one, it doesn't really look like any of them. And as such, it's got, one of the lowest prices you can get on a Joe DiMaggio card, with around a $300 entry point, with 240 graded population. And there's actually also a 1949 set from MP and Company with an identical looking card of Joe DiMaggio as well. So, which I didn't bother to include here. So, up next, we have got the 47 Bond Bread. This would be the one with the beveled corners, and it's got a total graded population of 60. So, not to be confused with the ones that SGC labels as Bond Bread exhibits. For more information on those, I would recommend checking out Dave over Blue Jacket 66, who's done about 3 different Bond Bread videos explaining the different sets and their origins, and the fact that these ones here were actually the only ones that got put in the bread packaging. And any of those other sets, the square corners ones, were released years later and weren't really even Bond Bread. So I did not include those in this presentation. And by the way, that total graded population here is all SGC in this case, as PSA won't touch these things. The confusion, I think, over the different sets, they don't want any part of it. So SGC is your only source for these cards. And as far as pricing, I found that we had a really nice looking SGC 1 there go for $480, and a SGC 3 went for $565 that actually didn't look quite as good. So I'm guessing the bottom level entry point on this one, we didn't have a real recent price of something totally entry looking. That'd be around $400 maybe. So up next, 49 Leaf. Now this one, second highest graded population on these cards, but I think the popularity being this his only major release of anything post-war bumps up that entry point price on this set. As it seems like the 49 Leaf set, lots of cards are at a premium there for post-war, and he ends up being around 1,100 entry price point there, 1,000 to 1,100. So, but a really nice looking card there. And up next, we have got a 51 Burke Ross. These would be similar size to like the 48 to 50 Bowman cards. Lots of them have this issue with not really being that clearly printed and kind of faded looking. And as such, they're a little bit cheaper then. So they have a similar entry point to those MP and Companies at, somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 for the 51 Burke Ross, which has 390 graded cards. And then we've got 52 Burke Ross. So this one is a little bit larger sizing. So these ones are kind of shaped like the 51 and 52 Bowman sets, and a little bit more popular. It seems fairly close to an entry price point, maybe being slightly higher. I guess some people favor having the bigger shot, identical photo from the other one. And, while he didn't play in 52 as he retired at the end of the 51 season, this is, remembering his 51 season, kind of getting his final card here as far as his playing days career, and just has a slightly higher population than the 51 at 411. So there we go. There is my run there of data on Joe DiMaggio. And I have recently purchased one. And so which one did I choose? Well, it is this one here. I was the auction winner of the very nice looking one that went for $480. And I see you say very nice looking because I'm not sure how well this camera is picking it up, but this thing is really gorgeous on the front. And the reason it gets a 1 is that it has glue damage on the back from apparently being in a scrapbook, and that's how it earns a 1 grade. So a blank back glue damaged 1 is something I will take in my collection all day long, twice on Sundays. So there you have it. There's my pre-war baseball card hunting expedition there for Joe DiMaggio. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. Got any comments on, do you want a Joe D card? Please share it below. Any other particular players you'd like me to profile in this, let me know. But, it's easy to pull the data with my VCP subscription and, put the little work in to put this slideshow together for you. So, everybody, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.